Rep the South Side whenever you pay with your White Sox debit card from Wintrust Community Banks and score perks like free ATMs, no monthly fees, and a $300 opening bonus. Pay with pride every time with Wintrust, Chicago's bank.
Hey everybody, it's Chuck Garfien. Welcome to the latest edition of the White Sox Podcast, brought to you by Wintrust, Chicago's bank. Show your team pride with the White Sox debit card. Get yours at wintrust.com/Sox. Member 𝗵𝗻 lender. All right, we got a special edition of the podcast here today because I am sitting down in the office of Roger Bossard. This is where I am right now as we talk about one of the craziest seasons in his entire career. He's been the groundskeeper for 59 years with the White Sox. He's never had a year like this because of all of the rain. He's going to give us a behind-the-scenes look with so many behind-the-scenes stories about this season, his career with the White Sox, and a whole lot more. You're going to enjoy this conversation because I know I did. It's coming your way. Let's go. All right, I am here in holy territory, the nerve center of the entire organization, Roger Bossard's office. There's a lot that has gone on in this office. So many decisions have been made, so much blood, sweat, and tears from you probably. What does this office mean to you?
You know, let me start by this. Obviously, weather is always my main concern, certainly the infielders also. When I look into the past years, I remember opening days with 8 inches of snow. I remember 60, 70 mile an hour winds, the tarp blowing into the stands. I can remember, a lot of people don't know this, we had AstroTurf on our infield grass in the early 70s, and I can remember a guy by the name of 𝗵𝗶𝘶. Do you remember?
Yes,
okay.
Very well. When he told me about that, by the way, that there was AstroTurf in the infield, grass in the outfield, I could not believe it.
Yeah, that was Art Allen who made that decision. That was the first owner that I had. One of the opening days we had an inch of snow, and the AstroTurf was frozen. It was different back in those days, and there's an inch of snow in the AstroTurf, and I can remember Bill yelling out, "Tell Roger to come out and try and get the snow off the Astro. I can't see the ball." So I guess what I'm getting at is, I've gone through a lot of different scenarios. Nothing like this year. We've had, 𝗵𝗻 and I have talked about it. I've had 9 straight times homestands where I literally have gotten my crew and covered up for a rain delay. I've never had that. Actually, I'm going to lead a little further, Chuck. We had the Bananas here this weekend. So they're only here for 2 days. So it's got to be nice weather. I can't run into 10 straight homestands or, let's say, opportunities for rain. And it rained Saturday night with the Bananas. You brought up initially about here, this is sort of the focal point whenever we have things going on, because I have 2 radars. One is my own Doppler that the White Sox have, and another one. So there's always the crew chiefs, the managers, Jerry, all the general managers, everybody's here from both teams, and we make a collective decision on what needs to be done. I've had sleet in my face this year, snow on my neck. And all this is, 2 years ago, I never covered up one time during a game. And when I mention that to other groundkeepers, they go, "That can't possibly happen."
In Chicago.
Exactly. That's how good of a year it was 2 years ago. I'm getting paid back big time this year. You know, I talked to Brooke about it. I hope, you know, maybe she can say something, a couple prayers for me. Talk to 𝗵𝗻.
We're talking to your bobblehead more than ever before. Whenever we have rain delays, we put it with the Roger Bossard bobblehead on the set, and we're talking to it because we can't talk to you. We're getting out all our anger and frustration on your bobblehead. No offense.
And I think the ironic thing here is there's a lot of sidebars that the people don't understand. These days, when you get rain, and you and I discussed a little bit, there's no such thing as a shower anymore. It's a ½ inch to 2.5 inches. It's just
so they couldn't play through it.
Right. It's just amazing how this has happened. And the other thing is that because of the weather, we've had what I think it's 34. I'm certainly not Tom Skilling, but I watch it close.
Yes.
We've had 34, 35 days in the 90s. Now, when you get that kind of heat and the humidity with it, 75% or more, the groundskeeper has to cover up at night because, once again, there's no showers, it's all storms. Now, when you're covering up your cultivar or your plant at night, the heat and humidity is festering for a disease underneath the tarp. If you ever talk to a golf course superintendent, he will tell you that his worst days are middle of the summer. He's spraying his greens twice a week. I literally have been spraying my infield twice a week for the last 4 weeks. The weather's been that bad because I'm covering up every day and I'm worried about catching disease. And there are some diseases on the market. Pythium is one. If you get it literally in 24 to 36 hours, your plant is gone. Your infield will be gone. So there's so much pressure besides what's going on with the rain, but I've never seen this before. I have talked to the groundskeeper from the Cubs quite a few times because I like telling him, I hope you enjoy the sun because I never see it.
Are the Cubs getting it better than you? Because usually when you're home, the White Sox are home, the Cubs are on the road. When the Cubs are at home, you're on the road.
Right. The Cubs have been getting, in my opinion, of course, a little bit better, a little more sunshine. I know they haven't gone 9 straight homestands of having to cover up during a rain delay. So I don't know how this plays out when I talk to Jerry at the end of the year when I go in for a raise. I hope he sees this. But it's been trying. It's been very interesting.
All right, so give me one word as a groundskeeper, the groundskeeper here in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, where all this rain has happened. One word to describe your season.
Extreme. The most difficult season I've had, and this is my 59th.
So I was going to hope you're going to say this other word.
I can't swear on that. I don't want to do that.
No. I don't know if it's a swear word, but I saw you about a week or so ago, and I go, what has this been like? And do you remember the word you said to me? You probably don't remember, but I loved it because it described this year for you. If you're the groundskeeper, you go, hell!
Well, that is I would say that's probably the top word. Yeah, that's the best word for this. It's
I think it's Roger Bossard's season of hell.
Well, yeah, it is. It's been extremely interesting. You have to remember that I start February 7th in spring training. I'm there with the guys. I've had 11 days off. But let me say this: other groundkeepers are in the same mode as I am. You live for what you do. A little more pressure on me sometimes. Being the third generation, I do strive for professionalism and to try and be the best. Whether I am or not, there's a lot of great people out. But it's my life, and this year has been it's been interesting.
So this portion of the podcast is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Here's a question for you. Greater nemesis for you. Greater nemesis. Disco records or rain this year?
Wow. Disco Demolition, and I tell everybody, that was the one day when I remember telling my dad, he was still here then, that I don't know if I made a mistake in following in his footsteps. Disco Demolition that's number one. That has to be. This is a close, but Disco Demolition. Actually, there's a picture, I don't know if you've ever seen it, of me the next morning at Disco Demolition. It's an interesting picture of me taking out sod.
So I think it's funny, you're actually helping me along here, because there is a picture that is on our set at the United Center when we do the road games, and of all the pictures that you could have on the set, think of all the players who played for the White Sox. No, it's not a player. It is a picture of Roger Bossard, without a shirt on, by the way. And it's a view at Old Comiskey Park, and that is exactly what you're doing. You are replacing the sod? What are you doing?
That is the picture.
Yes.
Where'd you guys get that?
On the set. Someone put this, of all things, on the set. And I told 𝗬😂, I'm like, hey, I'm going to interview Roger tomorrow. He goes, you should bring that picture. And by the way, I had Roger sign this picture. Can you zoom in on this? For everyone who can watch on YouTube, it says, I asked Roger to sign this. It says, Disco sucks, Roger Bossard.
And it does. It does. Actually, I tell you what, to go one further, Steve Dahl and I didn't talk for 10 years. We have talked since then, but this is number one on my list. It's you have to understand when you see this is my house, and when you see people literally tearing up the bases, tearing up the side, and a fire in center field, nothing beats that night.
It's funny you brought this up because it was Bill Veeck night here like 2 weeks ago, right? And who was here? It was Mike Veeck.
Right,
so Mike came on our show, and I asked him about Disco Demolition, and he said he just had was it the first conversation he had with you since 1979?
Yes.
What was that like?
Yeah. Actually, Mike came in the office here, and we hugged. I mean, we worked together for years. It was a trying night for him. He was the head man of that. Let me say this, though. I got to say this for Mike, and I know him well. The thought process of that.
No, the idea was too good of an idea.
Yeah, it was great. But 55,000 people, he didn't foresee that. No one did. And that was the travesty of the evening. No one was planning for that, and the kids just took it over.
Yeah. What was it like just to see Mike? Did you guys feel the moment
of
it all?
No question. Yeah. I mean, first thing we did was hug.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been so many years, and I know he's always felt bad about it. The day it happened. The next couple of days, we had talked numerous times, and he felt bad about what happened. I mean, everyone knew what the field meant, but it was just one of those things. But it went down in one of the Veeck era, one of the special Veeck events.
Yeah.
Actually, and I'll say this. I haven't talked to Mike since then, but I think that his dad and Mike would appreciate the bananas being here. That's typical. That was a typical Bill Veeck thing. And Jesse, the guy that owns the bananas, you have to tip your hat to him. I didn't like it that in the middle of the game it starts pouring rain, and I had to cover up for the bananas. So Jesse,
that's 10 times.
That's 10 times in a row that I've had an event. Yeah, so Jesse, if you're watching, you owe me big time for that, pal.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the bananas, I thought of actually two people. I thought of Bill Veeck, and I thought of 𝗁cie. If there ever was a player who kind of, for the White Sox, who exemplified banana baseball, like the way he played the game.
Yes.
Fun,
no question.
Flair. He brought a 𝗵𝗵 𝗵𝗹 entertainment to the field as a player, as a manager, while with his explosion.
Of course.
Like, he was a perfect fit, so it was great that he was able to be a part of this as well.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, and he took advantage of it. I mean, 𝗁cie's 𝗁cie. I mean, he's out, and the fans just love him. Yeah. The place went crazy. I mean, it just, no, you're absolutely correct. He fits in that. And even as a player, he always had that flair. 𝗁cie's the guy, 𝗁cie and Robin Ventura, the guys that I could always fool around with. I can tell you two stories real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, Robin, they don't get any better than Robin Ventura. Yeah. I literally put a rock before the game out at third base. And Robin comes out, they're going to start the game, and he sees a rock in the middle of the field at third base. He's looking around, and I'm on the side of the dugout, and he sees me, so he picks it up and throws it at me, and he's laughing. Yeah. Okay. With 𝗁cie, there was a time when.
Oh, so you put the rock there just as a, because you knew he had the sense of humor to appreciate that.
Yes. I'm not doing that today.
No,
I'm not doing that today. No. 𝗁cie, there was one time. I'm throwing around my bags of conditioner. It's the middle of the game. We're having a rain delay, and I left half the bag at shortstop. And 𝗁cie comes out, and here's a big pile right here, and I see him kicking it, and he's laughing and smiling. That's the way it was back then with those guys.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. So you're absolutely correct. 𝗁cie's that guy. Robin, the game's changed a little bit, but those two are special. 𝗁cie's will always be special to me.
Yeah, he says he credits a lot of his career to you because of the field he was able to play on.
Well, you have to understand that back in the day, the groundkeeper was, Bill Veeck said a good groundkeeper is the 10th man on the field. Yeah. I would always talk to 𝗁cie, Joey Cora, Robin, Frank, all those, 𝗵𝗫 𝗂𝗃. They all wanted it done a special way, and that's what a good groundkeeper did.
So this is your 59th season.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to go back 59 years. 1966 was your first year? 67.
Right.
So who was on that team in 67?
I'll give you some famous names. Sid O'Brien.
Don't even know him. Who's Sid O'Brien? I don't even know him.
Bobby Knapp was their second baseman.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
AG was AG? No.
No, AG wasn't here. Gosh, now you got
Tommy
me thinking.
John.
Oh yeah, TJ was here. Yeah,
The Tommy John.
yeah. Gary Peters.
Gary Peters.
Joe Horland.
Those are big names.
I
from
think
there.
a guy by the name of Dwayne Josephson might have been our catcher then.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the shortstop.
I can look it up.
God,
67.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, a guy by the name of Walt Williams. Walt No Neck Williams was on the team.
his nickname was No Neck. I
No
like
Neck,
that.
yes.
So it's funny because this is before my time. Bill Meldon had not arrived yet.
No.
This was kind of a interesting, like the great phase of like the 50s and early 60s when the Sox were really good.
Yes.
Was over.
Right.
And they were about to go into the depths of
Right.
real bad baseball.
Yeah, yeah. You have to remember though, in '67 there were 6 or 8 games left. We were tied for first place.
Yeah. Well, hold on. They went 89-73.
Right.
Okay.
Right. We had John, Horland, and Peters. Dad was
𝗬𝗎
still.
Martin was the catcher.
Oh, 𝗬𝗎 Martin, yeah, another good guy. But those were the days you have to remember. That was when Dad was here, and in front of home plate, they used to call it Bossard Swamp because of John Horland and Peters. Guy by the name of 𝗬𝗏 which was a former player, was the manager. And back in those days, the umpires didn't have a lot to say. The home field advantage was very definite back then. Okay, so you had low ball pitchers in front of home plate used to be mud. I remember
You used to put mud in front of home plate.
It was
and get
like
away
mud.
with it. You could do it.
Exactly. I can remember Hawk Harrelson. He used to kid me all the time. He said, 𝗵 𝗁𝗏.
Yeah.
He said, we used to hate to come here. He said, we used to get in front of home plate and try and tamp it down because it was like mud. And then there was the times of the frozen baseballs.
You guys had frozen baseballs.
Oh, yeah, very definitely. Yeah.
So what was behind that?
Yeah. Well, Dad and 𝗬𝗏 were. Yeah, Dad had 2
Look at
rooms.
this.
Dad had
Whole
2.
different time.
Yeah, yes. I can say that now. I couldn't say this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Dad had 2 different rooms. He was in charge of the baseballs. One room was like 4 brick walls and had a humidifier in there. Now you have to remember, this is my first year. I just got out of college, so I'm helping Dad take the balls to the umpire's room, and literally the boxes that the balls were in, they'd be dripping wet. And they got away with it. It was amazing back in those days. Now remember, our leading hitter was a guy by the name of Ken Berry. If you look it up,
Hold on.
center fielder Ken Berry.
Yeah, I know Ken Berry.
Okay.
I'm going to see what he did that year. Ken Berry, 7 homers, 41 RBIs, batted .241. Oh yeah, you're right. That was your leading hitter.
It was all pitching and defense. 𝗬𝗏 and Dad, they once again 6 to 8 games to go. They were tied for first place, and they went to Kansas City and lost a doubleheader, and then that was the end of it. But leading hitter 241.
Joe Horland, by the way, led the American League in ERA, 2.06. Tommy John, 2.47. Wilbur Wood was on that team.
Wood, wow. Yeah,
I mean, their entire bullpen, everyone had an ERA of either 2 or 3. And I'm going to say you guys had a major home field advantage in terms of the win-loss record. I'm going to check that out because that just seems like it has to happen.
Did we win many games?
Yeah, you guys were 40-40 on the road. At home, 49-33. Yeah, that's what Roger Bossard and Dad Gene had a lot to do with that one.
Yes. Very proud of that.
Yeah, I would be too. So that was 67. Actually, I want to show this photo again. This is a young Roger Bossard without a shirt on. You're looking pretty good there.
Are you trying to say that's not me now?
Well, no, I don't know how old you are, and I want to ask, but you're not 30, whatever this was here.
No, that's true.
But anyway, I have great memories of the 70s and then onward. The 60s were before my time. I wasn't born yet. But I wanted to ask you about, this as being your 59th year, does the 60th season, does that carry any weight for you from a number standpoint for next year?
Jerry and I we actually had this conversation probably about 3 months ago, and as you know, he's going to sell the team in 10 years. So I went in and I saw him and I said, well, where am I going to be if you sell the team in 10 years? And these are his words. He said, Roger, I plan on being here in 10 years. I'd like to think you're going to be there with me. And that's the way I feel. You've heard this before. There gets no better than Jerry Reinsdorf. He's just a special person. And that's why we have a lot of people here that are in their 60s or 70s they don't want to leave Jerry. He's that good. So I plan on being here for the 60th. I just go year to year. It's all health, Chuck.
Yeah.
It's all health. I still jog my mile a day.
Wait, I was wondering, but you jog a mile a day. I see how much you work in here. Do you still need to do exercise?
Yeah, I do. During the summer, I average 17 or 18,000 steps a day. So, but that's me.
Yeah.
You know, it's me. My dad was that way. Grandpa was that way. It's like Jerry Lynn always says. It's just a gene thing. I can't drink any caffeine. I never have any coffee. Jerry Lynn's a little Italian girl, and she needs those 2 cups when she gets in the morning. I jump out of bed and I'm ready to go. You know.
That sounds genetic.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, most people don't feel that way, especially as they get older. But you've got some kind of thing in you that just kind of is always on, right?
Yeah, and some of the people here are really good people. They're good to work with. Yeah, I have no plans on retiring.
Why would you?
Well, exactly. If Jerry's going to be working till he sells it at 99, then I'm going to be in for those 10 years. So Jerry, count on me being with you.
I love it. That's special. You know, I mean, you're the longest tenured groundskeeper in MLB history.
Oh, yes.
By far.
Right.
And then in terms of employment at this team, are you the longest tenured?
Yeah, I don't think there's... full-time, definitely.
Yeah.
There might have been some part-timers,
Right.
people working the stands or something, but full-time for the White Sox, I don't think there's anybody close. I actually haven't looked at it that way, but I don't know of anybody.
Well, the way I look at that is, I'm someone who appreciates White Sox history, and you just started out with 1967. I mean, every player who has come through this park, home and away, since 67, you have seen.
Yes. And right there are the special ones.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
an invitation-only board.
So what you have there is a picture of when it was U.S. Cellular Field, and the people who have meant a lot to you in your life, you've allowed them to sign it. I see Ron Kittle's name, Tom Paciorek, Bill Melton is on here, Don Cooper, 𝗦cie Ramirez. Is that Paul Molitor? Yeah, Paul Molitor.
Paulie's here, yeah.
Carlton Fisk, Buck Martinez, Hawk Harrelson. Is Hawk on there?
Yes, yeah.
Who else we got? Chuck Garfien is on there.
I was just going to say, you're there.
That means, you know what, of all the...
Invitation only, you're there.
That means a lot to me. That really means a lot. I see Jerry Reinsdorf, Tony La Russa. Who am I missing here? What's this? Love You, My Pal.
That's Hawk.
Oh, he wrote Love You, My Pal. Then he wrote Ken Harrelson, then under it says Hawk.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's him.
A.J. Krasinski.
There's Carlton Fisk up there.
Yeah.
Eddie Farmer.
Jim Thome.
Yeah. Jermaine Dye. Yeah, Roy Smalley. These are people that were just Roy's such a good guy. These are all special people.
Darren Jackson.
Yeah.
Is that 𝗵𝗻𝗶𝗹? No.
That is 𝗵𝗻𝗶𝗹.
I'm surprised actually.
Yeah,
that's
that you got that. Yeah.
Get that one.
Ron Gardenhire. There's Buck Martinez. Ron Gardenhire. Peter 𝗰𝗼.
Peter 𝗰𝗼. What was he doing here?
Yeah. Him and Bob Manfred were some kind of meeting with the umpires.
Okay.
And they came in here, and I had them both sign it. And
who's there at first base? 1985.
That's a guy named
Don
Mattingly.
Don Mattingly.
Yeah. And you can see who's below him to the left. Frank.
Where's Frank? Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Frank. Okay, yeah. There's just so much here. Yeah. Who's above Tony La Russa there?
That's Bobby. That's Buddy Black.
Bud Black.
Buddy Black, the manager.
All right, then who's the Hall of Famer from 17 in left field?
Tim Raines.
Oh, Tim Raines.
And then Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jerry had seen this, of course, and he told me, he said, when you retire, he said, this is staying here. And I told him, no, there's one thing that's going home with me, and that's it.
What I love about you is that you still love your job. That's what keeps you here, besides your health. You love doing this. You can complain about the weather, as I do myself, but you just love coming to work every day. I mean, for instance, there's no game today.
Right.
They're on the road. What time did you get here?
Well, you know what? We're doing a little resodding today, a little bit of work. I was here today at 7:30.
And you'll be here till when?
Yeah. I'm going to leave early today, probably
Okay.
2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay. Oh, that's an easy day for
Yeah,
you.
yes.
Enjoy the day. Take the afternoon off.
Go to Starbucks, right? Yeah, okay, all right.
But like on a day game, night game at home, what are your hours?
Day games, I'm always here at 5:30, 5:45. A night game, I'm here by about 7:30. Day games, I'm home by 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Night games, usually around 10:30, 11 o'clock. When the club's in town, I average about 100 hours a week. Wow. So, but you know what? I was brought up in it.
Yeah.
So I'm used to it. And if I retired right now, I would miss it. First of all, Jerry Lynn would probably hit me over the head with a frying pan.
Good for the marriage.
Yeah.
Keep working.
Yeah, exactly. Roger, I love you.
Go.
Yeah, right. Close the door on me. So, no.
But so those are long work days, but I think that's what keeps you
It does.
active
There's
and
no
keep
question.
feeling good, right?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, and we now that we do the post game shows here at the park, you know, every game without fail, I will turn around and I'll see what's going on down there.
Sure.
And I see you watering, doing your thing,
Right.
and I see the tarp on the field so much. Is this the most rain we've had?
No question. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, it's never a shower. It's from a ½ inch to 2.5 inches. You have to remember that 1 inch of rain on a baseball diamond is 124,000 gallons. The other day when we were delayed, I had a little more than 2.5 inches of rain. I mean, parts of the area of the park were flooding because we had this 2.5, 2.75 inches in about 8 or 9 hours, and some of it just you couldn't take it. It's been amazing. I've never covered up as much. I've never seen as much rain in the last 4 to 6 weeks. Half the team has brought it up to me. I mean, the coaching staff, Justin Jerschel, Will said, "Roger, have you ever seen this?" I said, "No, it's unforeseen." But you're right along with it. Certainly in the last 12 to 15 years, from an agronomic viewpoint, there's been such a dramatic Tom Skilling and I talked about this 3 years ago. There's such a dramatic change in the weather. And if you watch the other weather people on TV, they'll tell you that some of this stuff is just, you don't know what's coming anymore. You know, they always rap the weatherman, oh, he makes mistakes.
Yeah.
It's easy to make a mistake, I do what they do now a little bit.
Yeah.
So I understand there's times when I have to, and you know, I have to make a decision on are we going to play or not. And Chris and I will be in here, and the opposing manager, and you go, if you start the pitcher, and that's huge to people. That's huge to team managers.
Right.
They're sitting right in that chair, and Joe Girardi looked at me one day and said, "Roger, make sure it's the proper move here. I can't lose this guy." Well, a little pressure.
Yeah,
So now I've got to say, okay, I don't see rain for an hour and a half. Well, there's times people say that and it rains 20 minutes later out of nowhere. And this year, that red bulb is over this park. All of a sudden, it just appears. The instant red thing over us or training. I've never seen, what I mean by training.
Yeah, what's training?
Okay, training is it's like a river, if you will. If you looked on the scope, on the radar, it could be like 150 miles away from you, and it just trains over certain cities and over our park. And it doesn't stop. It's a weather train. Just keeps coming over for hours. And this year has been unbelievable. And pop-ups out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you don't know. There's nothing going on anywhere, and all of a sudden it's a pop-up. My tarp crew consists of 26 guys, and I literally have kept them around almost daily, and I never do that. And you know, as a boss, I'm happy for them. They're getting all this time in, yet I'm not sure if Jerry's happy paying all these bills, but it's something that you have to do. If you lose a game, it's an automatic $1 million, so I can't afford to lose it.
How much do you envy the groundskeeper in Milwaukee who has Miller Park?
Yes, I know. Actually, that's one of the fields that I had built. Not only him, but in Seattle too. I always kid those guys. I talk to them every once in a while. It must be nice where you see the storm coming in and just go like this.
Hit a button.
Press that button, and all of a sudden comes and says, "Oh man!" So you just sit back. Yeah, there's no sitting back here.
Oh no. So you have over your shoulder, you have your radar on a television. Can you take us through what you have there? Because this is not your typical radar on your phone that everyone has. You've got something special here. So And this is you being Tom Skilling.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. I will go to future. Obviously, you can see right now we're getting a little bit of rain right here.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
And so the White Sox, as we speak, are not at home until Friday.
Right. Right.
How much are you looking into Friday already?
Well, I've got an event tomorrow, so I'm literally I'm
okay.
covered up for tomorrow too.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that go on besides the White Sox.
Yeah, yeah.
I have 46 events on the field, so which is part of what we do. So I'm watching this. My concern is later on tonight, this stuff down here in Kansas City. Most of the stuff I get, we talked about the training.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of the training starts coming from around. Right here around Topeka or Columbia, and it just comes from obviously the west. And
Is it mostly coming from? I mean, obviously that's where the jet stream is.
Right.
Is that where you're basically usually looking? The Kansas City area.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Here, there's times when it'll wrap around, which is completely different.
Yeah, that's the lake.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it happens. I mean, being we're only 6 miles from the lake, we run into that. This is what I'm worried about for tonight and tomorrow. I've got an event tomorrow, so I will watch this closely.
And then, so that's you're watching it closely. So you're watching it when you leave here tomorrow morning, whatever it might be.
Yes.
And then, so this is something special. What you have here. Can you describe what you're able to do here with this technology that other people don't have it on their phones?
Yes, I've got my lightning, of course, and people have lightning, but I've got storm corridors here, and it's not showing right now. But what it'll do is, it's a blow up of like a tube, if you will, and it'll show exactly where the rain is going for the next 24 hours to me. But that's why I mentioned it's so difficult, because what I tell you now, all of a sudden, if the wind shifts, it goes 50 miles north or 50 miles south. But that's what's been happening to me this year. It just pops up.
So we have the next homestand.
Yes.
10 games. Long homestand, Roger. What are the chances you can go 10 days without a rain delay?
Here.
What do you got? Money?
There's not a chance.
We're making a bet.
Yeah.
Not a chance. He took all the money out of his pocket.
Right now, it looks like the first 4 days are going to be good.
Yeah.
But if you got to remember, when we talk about what we just did about the 9 homestands, 2 of those homestands were 3 games.
Oh, man.
So what are the chances? What are the chances of the bananas coming in?
That's 10 for 2 days.
For 2 days. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's been amazing.
Well, there's a chance that people will be watching this, because what ends up happening when there are rain delays, and we've had so many of them, they run my podcast on the network.
Oh, okay.
So there might be a rain delay going on right now, and they're watching us talk about this because it's been one of the big stories. I mean, I look at this season, there are 3 main stories for this season that I see. Will Venables' first year as manager, all these rookies coming up and contributing. You see the future.
Yes, right.
And this!
Yeah, and
this
the
weather.
And the weather. Well, let me say this for those people that are watching this right now. If we do have a game and there's a lot of rain, I'll get you in the park free if you just come out and grab a handle on the tarp and help me pull the damn thing over the field. Because me and my crew are getting really tired, so I'd appreciate it. So it's from me to you. You're invited. I'll get you in free.
Yeah, it's a non-paid internship with free tickets.
Yes. And on the field. Let me say this too.
Yeah.
You know, Chuck knows this, I don't let a lot of people walk in my grass. But I will let you. If this is the case, you're going to help me, you can walk on my grass.
I was concerned about you. It was about a week or so ago. It was really windy. There was rain, and it was you and another guy were putting on a tarp right over in front of home plate.
The home plate area.
And that was really windy. I'm looking at you going like, is this tarp going to like rip your arm off?
Yeah, well, about 20 years ago one time it lifted me about 4 feet off the ground. And our trainer at the time, Herb Schneider, said that's got to be the last time for that. You know, I didn't rip anything out, but you get carried away. And once again, this is my home.
Yeah.
You know, and you care that much, and you lose it sometimes. You don't want it to get wet, but I went. You know what? I sort of toured duty in Vietnam, and I've seen a lot of things, but I wouldn't change my life at all.
Yeah. If you could say something to Mother Nature, though, what would you say?
Just stop the rain for a month. That's
Yeah.
all.
Rain in October or
Yeah,
November
yeah,
when
yes,
you're not having a baseball game. You have to try to
Exactly,
get underway.
exactly.
Well, I hope it's nothing but sunny skies, or you rather want cloudy skies with no rain. Is sun good or bad for your feeling?
I don't mind the sun with a little, maybe 72 degrees, a little breeze out of the west.
Yeah.
That'd be just perfect.
All right, so maybe be the Padres groundskeeper.
Can you make that happen?
No. Well, I don't know where the White Sox would be without you. You are a treasured member of this franchise, and it's great to know you and be able to see you every day when I come here and see what you do and what you have to deal with on a daily basis with this weather. But it's been great to talk with you. I learned a lot, and I know White Sox fans love you, so we're lucky to have you, Roger Bossard.
Chuck, thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
All right, Roger Bossard here on the White Sox Podcast. I always end the podcast tossing to 𝗏 𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀, and 𝗏 says, "Thank you, our Chuck." And this edition of the White Sox Podcast is over. You got a big, quick 𝗏 𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀 story?
Just the one I told about the frozen baseballs in the mud in front of home plate, and that's a true story. You can talk to him.
Yes.
Yeah. Him, 𝗵 𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗃, guy by the name of Jim Rice. Dewey
Rice,
Evans.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. When they came here, and you have to remember, it's the mud in front of home plate, and the balls wouldn't fly anywhere because they were frozen.
Oh, hey, give a story from the 1983 All-Star Game. I was there with my grandfather. It was a big day for me. Do you have any memories of that day? Because you mentioned Jim Rice. Jim Rice played in that game. Fred Lynn hit the grand slam.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know about that game. Let me say this about it. There's
83.
There's 4 seasons that I remember. 1977 was a lot of fun, called the Big White Machine. 83 was special with Kitty, Carlton Fisk. We won, 99 games.
Yeah.
And it's funny for a groundkeeper. When things are going well, when you win, things are going good for the groundkeeper too. All of a sudden, there's not as many bad hops.
Right.
And sometimes that's a realism in what we do.
Yes, yes.
Obviously, 94, I mean, that club was just, it was special.
I still have the scars from that year.
Yeah.
The fact that didn't finish.
Yeah, and then obviously we won it in 05.
Yeah.
But 83, with Greg 𝗻𝗁𝒃 and those guys, it was a special year.
Yeah, Julio Cruz.
I remember that well.
That was a peak Chuck Garfien when I was a kid. And one last thing, 05, since it's the 20th anniversary, that's one thing I wanted to ask you about. What does it mean to see the guys come back and what that season meant to you since you're such a big part of this franchise?
Well, you know what, actually, it was almost tear-jerking seeing some of the guys, there was a special group and a special bond. And we just, everything just clicked. It was a shame. I'm glad to see what the White Sox did for Bobby Jenks, that his wife was here. And Bobby was such a good dude. It was just a great bunch of guys. And it was 3 or 4 of them came in the office here. They know where my office is at. It was good seeing them because it's been years. It's been years. And it's almost as if it wasn't years when you see them all of a sudden. Everybody's putting on a little weight, lost a little hair, stuff like that. But all of a sudden you go back and you remember how it was. Everything just, there were no bad hops for me that year. Everybody was hitting home runs. Everything.
There was an ease to the whole season. They struggled late in the year, but for them they were just basically playing 500 for a few weeks, which is no big deal. But the Indians at the time were playing so well that everyone thought the roof was caving in.
Well, as Aaron Rowan said in spring training, I saw a little clip on him. No one was talking World Series in 05 in spring training, and it just blossomed. And that's what you need. What was it 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹 he had an ERA, and Cliff was here. I don't know of what 1.8.
Yeah, him and 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗃.
𝗵𝗀𝗃, exactly, and it's you have to have career years, but they were just a good group of people. They appreciated what the groundkeeper did, and that was one of those years where the Bill Veeck story of the groundkeeper is the 10th man on the field, and 𝗬𝗎𝗍 would tell you that was one year. It worked well for everybody, and I've got to tell you too, our organization. The next year in the spring, when they gave the rings away, I was the first one.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, and
That's
and I'm still trying to hold it together, even talking about it. I was the only one out of the office staff. I was the first one, and that meant a heck of a lot to me.
Listen,
Jerry doesn't realize what that meant.
Yeah, I see how much that means to you. 59 years, it's not you, not just you, it's your dad. We got pictures of your dad, your grandfather here. You are a part of the fabric of this organization and Major League Baseball, and that's a legacy that will never be topped. Roger Bossard.
Thank you, Chuck.
It's great to be with you.
My pleasure.
𝗏 𝗏𝗀𝗃, take it away.
All right, Chuck, this edition of the White Sox Podcast is over.